What's good, YouTube? My name is Coach, and in today's video, we're going to be going over a deck that I have within my collection, and the commander for that deck is Zaxara, the Exemplary. I recently received a comment from one of my subscribers named, I'm just going to name him Ant. He says, hey, I said, yo, what's good? And he said, what's good? And he told me he's hooked on Magic, and I said, I'm so hooked on the game, I got the game literally tattooed on my hand. I've been playing for 10 years. And then he said that he plays Kalia and Zaxara. So because he plays Zaxara, we're going to be going over Zaxara today. Just some of the key cards that I have inside my Zaxara deck that allows me to have fun and at least have an opportunity to win games. I don't always win, but I win sometimes. So these are some of the cards that help me do that. So what we're going to go over first, Anton, if you like, subscribe, and comment on this video, more importantly, comment. It lets me know that you exist so that by this weekend when I do the weekly giveaway, I have your name to enter into the randomizer so that you have an opportunity to win a free commander for your collection. Okay, so first things first, this is a Mutate deck. So it's not only the Hydras we create, there are Hydras inside the deck. However, Hydras are you just receive them by playing cards that have X in their cost, right? And we have the pile of those type of cards over here, but we just generate Hydras naturally. Now, Hydras are 0/0s that have +1/+1 counters. So when we mutate creatures onto the 0/0s with +1/+1 counters, if I have a 7/7 creature or a Hydra and I mutate this Great Horn onto it with 3 power, suddenly I have a 10/11 Hydra. And you'll see why that 10 number is relevant in the future. So some of the mutate creatures we have here are Migratory Great Horn, Souvenir Snatcher, Sawtusk Demolisher, a Chittering Harvester. We have Brokos, Apex of Forever. We have the Dreamtail Heron, Gemraiser. You know, just really all of the Mutate staples. The Lurker. We have Otrimi. Obviously, you would have to have Otrimi. Mind Leecher. Lunar. Insatiable. The Octopus. The Bat. The Shark. And then the Whisperer and Auspicious Sterix. So these are the Mutate creatures that we have inside the deck. Because this is a Mutate deck, it's incredibly important to make sure that we protect our creatures. So I'm just going to grab this pile over here next so we can go over this pile. This pile has, if you can find cards that give your creatures trample, because it says each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. Like for 5 mana, and there are cards that do this for 2 mana, I'm pretty sure. So it just gives your ability, your Hydras the ability to have trample so that you're guaranteed dealing a ton of damage consistently. So I only have one of them. I have this one. I also have the Dreadhorde Invasion. This is more for the Mutate, honestly. This just, I lose 1 life at the beginning of my upkeep and I amass 1, so I just create a zombie token that I can just continuously put a +1/+1 counter on. I just find that it works as a good mutate creature. Or gives me something to mutate onto. And then we have Asceticism. Asceticism says creatures you control can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. And it gives you, for 2 mana, the ability to regenerate target creatures, so it keeps your creatures alive. This, I think, is an absolute must. The games I lost because I didn't have this. This protects your creatures, just keeps you safe. Next card we have here is a Molting Skin. I know that there's another card that's quite literally, I think it's called Broken Fall. It's almost the same exact card, same mana cost, does the same thing. When you cast this, you can return this card back to your hand to regenerate a creature. So if somebody wants to take out one of your mutated creatures or one of your Hydras, you can just bring this back to your hand and regenerate it. Next card we have here is Parallel Lives. So whenever we create a Hydra token. Essentially, we create 2 with the same number. If I make a 10/10 Hydra token because of Zaxara, I get another 10/10. Then my favorite card, we have the Diabolic Revelation. This card wins games. So what ends up happening is you pay the X cost, and it says search your library for up to X cards and put those cards into your hand. So it's just a tutor. It costs a lot of mana. However, I just like the fact that you cast a tutor and you can get a Hydra off of it. It's incredibly fun. So Diabolic Revelation, I don't think it's that expensive either. It's a pretty good card inside this deck. It's a GG card. Now, we just went over an X spell over there. Here are some other X spells that tend to sway the game in your favor. You have a Mind Shatter. So target player discards X cards at random. So essentially it just reads target opponent discards their hand. You create at least a 5/5 Hydra. We have Death Denied. Especially in this Mutate build, you return X target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand at instant speed, and create a Hydra at instant speed. Villainous Wealth. Now, speaking of GG cards, if you can just... I don't even think I have to say anything. This card wins games. It's just the best. We have Mind Twist. It's kind of like that Mind Shatter before. Target player discards X cards at random. But 1 mana, oof, discard. Target player discards their hand, essentially. Diviner's Portent, just draw. Multiple choice, once again, it's just draw. And all of these abilities over here. Curse of the Swine, you exile X target creatures. Exiling is huge in Commander. You know, personally, I would rather pay more money for a spell that has me exile a creature than pay less mana for a spell that doesn't exile a creature. I think exiling is extremely... When you exile a creature, it hits... It feels different. It's tough to explain until you see it happen. So exile X target creatures, and then they put 2/2 boars for each creature token put on the battlefield. And because we have giant Hydras, 2/2s aren't necessarily the scariest thing in the world. And then we have the Dregs of Sorrow. So you destroy 8, oh my god, maybe 8. You destroy X target non-black creatures, and then you draw X cards. This card will swing the game in your favor. And then onto the literal win condition of the deck. We have a Pharises. This just gives enchanted creature Infect. Note how I said earlier we wanted to get a creature to a 10/10. So if I mutate this Sterix, which is a 6/6, onto a Hydra that has 4 power, this becomes a 10/10, which means that if you deal 10 Infect damage, you knock somebody out of the game. So just kind of keep that in mind, okay? Next we have the Tainted Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains Infect until the end of turn. We have the Grafted Exoskeleton. See, this is what you're grabbing with the tutor, by the way. These cards over here, the Diabolic Revelation, which is over there. Yeah, you want to grab these cards. So this says whenever it just gives a creature +2/+2 and Infect. And then we have the Glistening Oil, which is basically repeatable Infect. I am a geek and a nerd, so I write on my cards. And then it says at the beginning of your upkeep, put a -1/- counter on the enchanted creature. So, however, more importantly, when this oil is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you return this card back to your hand. So you just get to use it again. It's a good card. So that is my Infect, Mutate, Hydra deck. It is incredibly fun. I rarely play this deck because I find that it's just powerful, and sometimes I don't want to be playing games that are with decks that are super powerful, honestly. So that's that. If you have any suggestions or you think anything about this, you can leave it in the comment section below. If you'd like for me to go over any other specific commander, or you have a commander in your collection that you would like for me to speak upon, you may leave it in the comment section below. I'm genuinely enjoying the comments that you're leaving in the comment section. And you can get an opportunity to win potentially this copy of Galta over here, if that's the one you end up choosing. All right, so I hope you have an amazing day. Okay, always remember, eat healthy, work out every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if it's just for 1 minute. Remember, like when you're exercising, your brain has to fire first, and then your muscles move. So exercising is actually you training your neurology, and then your muscles respond. So even if you squat 1 time a day, you're building a neurological pathway that's going to give you the opportunity to perform that movement more safely and more intensely in the future. Okay? And always remember, you got to believe in yourself. All right? Peace.